Assalamu alaikum. I am Mohammad Ruhul Amin Prodhan, Assistant English Teacher, বেলায়েত হোসেন বহুমুখী উচ্চ বিদ্যালয়, দেলদুয়ার, টাঙ্গাইল. My dear students, I hope you are all well by the grace of Allah. I am also doing well. My dear learners, you know, in English language, verb is a very important grammatical term. Without verb, there is no a single sentence. If you want to express something, you must use verb. Without verb, you can't express anything, or you can't make a single sentences. So, I want to discuss about verb. You know, every verb has four forms. They are present form, present participle, past and past participle. Again, present participle, past and past participle. But in our country, most of the grammar, in English grammar, you can find that there are three forms of verb. They are present, past and past participle. There is a question: what form should we use in a sentence? It is a vital question. But if we want to solve this problem, we have to know some rules. That's form of verb. So my topic is right form of verbs or form of verbs. I want to discuss about the right form of verbs. Right form of verbs. Today's my class is very beneficial for class 10 or SSC vocational students. It is also important for general class 9 or class 10. Before starting my lecture, I want to say something. You can learn from my lecture. You can learn about the form of verbs and you are able to fill in the gaps. At first, I want to discuss with you about conditionals or conditional sentence. Conditional sentences. Conditional sentences. Do you know what is conditional sentences? If any clause start with if is called conditional sentence. In English, there are three conditional sentences. They are first condition, second condition, and third condition. Again, first condition, second condition, and third condition. If any clause started with if any clause started with if is called conditional sentence. First condition. If you want to know about first condition, number one, first condition. First condition. First condition means if present. If clause must remain in present tense. So we can say if clause remain in present tense, the later part will in future simple or future indefinite. But my topic is right form of verb. I want to write a sentence. If you invite me, I dash the party. In this sentence, if you invite me, if you invite me, it is if clause. I mean first condition. It is present indefinite tense, and the later part will future indefinite. Or the subject, the verb will take shall or will with it. The verb is suppose join. If you invite me, I will join the party. I will join the party. Look at the word. If clause is present indefinite tense, and later part or second part is future indefinite tense. So the verb will take will or shall with its. It's right form of verb. Second condition. Second condition, if clause is in past tense, if clause in past tense, the second part will past conditional. Past conditional means would, should, could, and present form of verb. Would, should, could, and present form of verb. Okay, I want to show you in the board. 2. Second condition. COND, second condition. If I were a king, therefore help. In this sentence, if clause is in past indefinite and the later part will past conditional. I mean the verb will take would or should or could or might. If you want to fill in the gaps, we can use would. Would help. If I were a king, I would help the poor. I would help the poor. It is second condition. So you can fill in any gaps by using first condition and second condition. In first condition, the verb will take will or shall, and in second condition, the verb will take would, should, could, or might. Again, third condition. Third condition. Third condition means if clause is in past perfect and the later part will past perfect conditional. I mean the verb will take would have, should have, could have, might have. For example, if I had known the boy, dash help. In this sentence, if clause is past perfect, the later part will past perfect conditional. The structure of past perfect conditional would have, should have, could have, or might have, and past participle form of verb. So you can fill in the gaps. I could have helped helped him. If you know, if you notice the sentence, if I had known the boy, I would have helped him. It is third condition. Again, I repeat you. The conditional sentences are three kinds. First condition, second condition, third condition. First condition, if present, next future simple. Second condition, if past, and later part will, would, should, could, might, and present form of verb. In third condition, if past perfect, would have, should have, could have, might have, and past participle of verb. Okay. Next, I want to discuss about high time. High time or time. It is time or high time. It is time or high time. It means suitable time or perfect time. You know, it is time or high time. It has also three rules. We can solve this problem in three ways. First, it is time and it is high time. It is time and it is high time. Always take past form of verb. If you find any sentence with time or high time, the verb will in past form. For example, it is high time you dash your future. Suppose the verb is built. It is high time you build your future. You know, high time and time will take past form of verb. So we use past form of built. I mean B-U-I-L-T, built. So I can say high time or time always take past form of verb. Another way, if you can find time or high time, there is two. After time or high time, you can find two after time or high time. What should we do then? My dear learners, it is very easy. It is very easy. When you find the clause time or high time and next it is added by 2, you must put the form in present form. So here you can use present form of verb read. Read. It is high time to read. It is second rule of high time. Third rule, if you find any preposition after time or high time, for example, it is time for pray, P-R-A-Y, pray. What form should we use? In this case, if you find any preposition after high time, you must use ing or present participle form of verb. Present participle form of verb means verb plus ing. When we use verb plus ing, it's called present participle. So it is high time for pray. P-R-A-Y-I-N-G. Pray. When we find any preposition after time or high time, we use ing with the verb. Next, I want to discuss about list. About list. L-E-S-T, list. Lest mean something fear, something fearful behind, or something unpleasant going to happen, or something anxiety. It's meant list. When we find list in any sentence, we use verb with should. I want to say if the sentence started with list, for example, we worked all the way list dash the tree. For meaningful, I want to sense our we ran all the way. We ran all the way, lest we dash the train. Miss. In this sentence, the sentence, if you know, we ran all the way lest. Lest. After lest, the verb will take should. After lest, any verb will take should. So we fill in the gaps with should. We should miss the train. After lest, the verb will take should and present form. Okay, my dear learners. Then I want to tell you about another rule, since or long since. Since or long since. My dear student, since or long since. There are two rules with since and long since. If the clause with since or long since in present, the later part will past. If the first part is past and the later part will past perfect. That's true. For example, 5 years have passed since we dash in Dhaka. Leave. My dear learners, if you look at the board, 5 years have passed. It is present tense. I mean present perfect tense. And the later part will past indefinite, or the verb will take past form. The verb will take past form. The past form of lived is lived. Second rule, it was long since we dash last. For example, the verb is meet. In this sentence, the first clause is past indefinite. It was long since, past indefinite. And the second part will past perfect. You know, the structure of past perfect, had plus V3 or had plus past participle form of verb. So, we can use had and past participle form of verb meet, I mean meet. It was long since we had meet last. So, you can fill in the gaps by using this rule in this way. My dear learners, I hope you are enjoying my lecture. Next, I want to say something about would you mind? Would you mind? Would you mind is a modern word. In modern civilization or in modern culture, we use it. The term would you mind always take present participle of verb or verb plus ing. For example, would you mind a cup of tea? Cup of tea? Take. In this sentence, would you mind? Would you mind always take present participle of verb or verb will take ing after it. So you can fill in the gaps by using take, not take with ing, taking. T-A-K-I-N-G. Would you mind taking a cup of tea? In this way, you can fill in any gaps by using would you mind. Next, I want to discuss another important point. No sooner had they hardly had before, scarcely had when. My dear students, when you find any sentences, these words no sooner had than, hardly had before, and scarcely had when. In these sentences, you must remember that the first part is past perfect tense and the later part will past indefinite tense. Again, the first verb will in past perfect and second verb will in past simple or past form. For example, hardly had we reached the station, the train left the station. Leave, L-E-A-V, leave. In this sentence, the first part, hardly had we reached the station. Hardly had we reached the station. If you notice the sentences, the structure is had and past participle of verb. I mean past perfect tense. It is past perfect tense. And next gap will take past form of verb. The leave, past form left, L-E-F-T, left. Hardly had we reached the station, the train left the station. Okay, my learners, in this way you can use. If the gap is in first part, the verb will past participle form, and the gap is in the second part, the verb will take past form. Next, my dear learners, I want to say about past simple or past indefinite tense. If any sentences consisted, if any sentences consisted ago, long ago, before, last, past, last year, last night, yesterday, the verb will take past form. Again, if any sentences consisted ago, long ago, before, last, past, yesterday, last year, last night, the verb will in past form. For example, long ago, long ago, there dash a key named Solomon lived. In this sentence, long ago indicates the past simple. So the verb will in past form lived. Long ago, there lived a king named Solomon. My dear students, if any sentence consisted generally, occasionally, necessarily, daily, regularly, always, never, the verb will remain in present form. Okay. The sentence I can use, he to school regularly. Go. In this sentence, there is a word regularly. It indicates the sentence is present indefinite and verb will remain in present form. Go. But there is one point. In case of present indefinite tense, subject is a factor. If the subject is third person singular number, he, she, it, or any name, the verb will take s or yes after it. So the go will goes. He goes to school regularly because the subject is third person and singular number, and it's present indefinite tense. My dear student, next I want to say something about modal. Modal verb. You know, the modal verbs are shall, should, will, would, can, could, may, might, dare, must, need, or ought. What should we do when we find these words? For example, I should, my parents, obey. In this sentence, you can find a modal verb should. So, you must remember that you always use present form of verb, not only present form, base form of verb. After modal verb, every verb remain in base form. Base form means without any ing or without any s or yes. I should obey my parents. But in case of modal verb, take, be or have after it, the verb will turn into past participle. For example, it can be in many ways. The verb is described. In this sentence, the modal is followed by be, so verb will remain in past participle. Described. CRIBED. After modal verb, if there is be or have, the verb will take past participle form. My dear learners, I want to conclude my lecture here. I have discussed about right form of verbs, and it is very important for you. If you follow my lecture and you should practice it regularly, you can fill in the gaps with right form of verb. It is very important for the vocational students, those who are going to appear in the SSC examination this year and the general section also. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.